I think I can fit more. What's going on, guys? Oleg here, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about my backpack and the reason why it's different from all the other setups that I've seen. And it's like flooded what's in my camera bag title. But in here, I have 4 cameras. I have tons of accessories, mics, you name it. Whatever I need to do to get a huge interview done, B-roll, whatever you want to do on the production site, I have everything, even some of the essentials like water, everything in here. And I wanted to share with you what's in it, and how I organize it. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and just dive in. All right, so this backpack is Low Pro 450 AW. I do believe that's what it's called. And I got it about 5 years ago. It's still, to this day, it works fantastically. It's a little bit beat up, even though I take care of my equipment, I take care of all my things. It served well. I did quite a bit of additional things to it. And I also purchased a lot of aftermarket pouches that can be attached to this backpack. Some of the things that I don't care to be damaged or so on the sides, I put them on the both pockets over here on top. I put it over here because at times I would be dropping the backpack on this side without any thought of like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna crush something. So all these things are having like either hard shell, like for example, my headphones that I use for monitors, Sony's, they have a hard shell, and it's really good for if you need to add it to the side or to the outside of the backpack without put it inside and take out the space that is more valuable for something that is more vulnerable. You just can attach it to carabines like so and let it either dangle or make something something different. On the side I have obviously the water bottle. Now that's one of the things that I really love about my water bottle is a company named Lark. They have this bottle with a cap that sanitizes every time like I pour some water. It can be like maybe dirty water. Well, I usually don't do that. I don't experiment that way, but dirty water or whatnot, you put it in hot, cold. It works as a thermos. So you just tap for one time sanitization, really quick sanitization. Double tap if you're adventure, whatever mode, if you're like having some kind of nasty stuff in it. Very good bottle. Purchased by Hype. I saw it, I do believe, on Shark Tank. And I do not regret it, and it actually keeps me hydrated because a lot of times when you're in the shoot, and I'm pretty sure you were the same way, when you're in the shoot, you keep on forgetting to drink water, and you have to drink water. When you're out there, it's sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's inside like you absolutely have to consume water. So this keeps me hydrated, which is super cool. I'm just gonna put it away. I call them like side holders. If I put any kind of like tripod or some kind of monopod in here, or maybe even gimbal, I just slide it in. I put just one side of the tripod leg so it would fit with the bottle in here in that pouch for the bottle. And these guys are simply connected around, snap on around the actual gimbal or tripod. And I have one tripod on each side. And if I need to do that, 2-person interview, whatnot, I can do that. On the other side, as you can see, I have a Peak Design tripod. I know it's super expensive. It is very good tripod just simply because its versatility, the size, the durability. It can hold quite a bit of weight on it, which is amazing. I was just very shocked, and I just purchased it. The hype, all the videographers, all the YouTubers talking about it, they're saying like, oh my gosh, this is the best tripod. Obviously some of them are sponsored. I'm not sponsored by any of these products, just wanted to share some thoughts, and you will see some of the honest reviews about these products. I know there's tons of them out there, but I will try to put my unique thought on every single item, okay? So with this tripod, what's cool is it is small. It can go up higher than some of the traditional tripods as far as the height, because I'm a tall dude. This one is actually, if you believe it or not, it's almost just a little bit bigger than my water bottle. So size is fantastic. It has inside here, it has a Allen wrench key. If I need to use this, it's always, and I know it's always there. I always have a spare inside of the bag, just when you need it, or when you forgot your tripod at home or so. It's not the carbon fiber version. I was kind of like, I don't want to pay like $300 or $200 more for a carbon fiber, just a little bit less weight. It's pretty light, and I'm a big dude, so I can carry all that stuff in my back. So I know a lot of people, even the strongest videographers out there, would say like, "Oh, dude, every single ounce counts." I gotta say, I mean, it's not gonna be a big deal if you already got used to it and you're doing it all the time. So, but this tripod is really, really good. I love it, and yeah. So I'm gonna put it to the side so it's not gonna be in our way. There's times that I do not use tripod. All I do is I just put my camera on gimbal, and I need to just capture some of the B-roll or some highlight video of the events or cars, whatever I'm doing that day. There's times that I don't need tripod. Oh, and also, it has a little cell phone holder over here, hidden, which is super, super cool. I would say the cell phone would be my maybe like fifth camera. I usually shoot some behind the scenes with my iPhone Pro Max. Just to know that I have a actual phone holder in this tripod if I need to, it's pretty cool. So the next thing over here is headphones, which obviously you need to monitor your audio. There's times that I would use it if I have a laptop in this backpack. Right now I don't have the laptop, but if I do and I need to do some edits or whatever, these are one of the best noise canceling headphones out there. The most comfortable. Maybe it's just because my weird ears, they're like perfect for them. Otherwise, I mean, I tried some Bose, I tried some other headphones, I tried even Apple, whatever those expensive ones, and they're not as comfortable as these guys. Ridiculous name. So Sony has to cut down on this like weird name calling of their branding. It just confuses the heck out of people. M4s, I do believe that's the short name for these, one of the latest ones. I love them, but I do love AirPods Pro. I really do. So that's my first and second place. These guys and AirPods Pro. This is one of the recent purchases that I had. Is I went to this antique store and I got this little really old school tripod. $2 that I paid for it, and it does amazing job for me if I need to set up a Insta360 RS. I just slap it on. This little thing unscrews, and here's a little legs come out. You just tighten it up. You put it on any surface, and it stays there. It's just amazing. It's so old. I don't worry about this thing being banged up, so I put it over here on the outside, along with my Leatherman. The only time I would leave this behind is if I'm traveling by plane, because obviously they're not allowed knives on airplanes, so I don't want them to take this away from me, so I always make sure I leave this thing behind when I'm traveling by plane. So next thing is the dongle. So I'm using the latest MacBook Pro that doesn't have a regular USB, and it does have the SD card, but if I need to shoot with two cameras, then I need to transfer that to my computer to add it really quickly. I plug in one SD card into my laptop, the other one goes into this dongle. I got this long time ago and it served me well. It has an HDMI output. If you want to connect that to external monitor or TV in the hotel room, you can totally do that with this dongle. So great dongle, I absolutely love it. Additional pouch that I purchased on B&H, which is really good website. So in this pouch I have some masks, and a lot of times I shoot video or photo in surgery rooms for doctors, and I need to get into the hospital, and they have still to this day, they have policies you have to wear a mask due to the times of COVID. So I always keep it with me just in case, and I always keep some of the heavy duty ones that actually make sense to wear. If I'm in the facility that has a lot of dust, I don't want to breathe it, I'm wearing some of the heavy duty masks. And I have this like gray mask just for, just for like, hey, I'm wearing a mask. Whoop-de-doo. And another thing that I don't worry about these pouches, if for some reason some theft happens, pickpocketer comes up and takes my Leatherman, whatever, my mask, I don't care about it. It's not a big deal for me. Also, it has a little zipper right here, and inside I use some different, obviously the power blocks, different cables that I would use for like some droids or maybe charge something up, and a little bag. It's 100% worth having these with you because sometimes you have a tripod that's missing the head or you need to attach something additional to the cage on the camera. You can use these bolts and screws and converters to do so, which is super cool. It's like, I don't know, maybe 10 bucks or something on Amazon. You can always order them more. Helpful and useful things, and they're always on the side. Top corner pockets, I have another case, which is, this is my secondary case for SD cards. It happens to all of us. We forget SD card case with all of our SD cards, but you always have to have like a little smaller stash of SD cards just in case of emergency. Lost, stolen, forgotten. You got the second one, and it's always over here on the side. The next, if I have some keys, something that is dangling in my pockets, I don't want it, I always attach it to this little piece. It just goes directly into this pocket. Slide the keys, car keys, whatever, in here, close it up. So here in this top part of the backpack, I have access to some of my microphones that are in like a little compartment here. And I do have a Insta360 RS camera in here, my action camera. But this little piece is made specially for SD cards, it says. I don't know who carries the 32 gigabyte cards anymore. But in here, what I did, I put in my AirTag. I have this AirTag, and it saved me a bunch when I leave my backpack somewhere on my iPhone. It tells me like, hey, you left your backpack somewhere. Not a lot of thieves that would take your backpack and they would be like, oh, let me just check for AirTags. So this is really, really unique place to put it. It's hidden. So it's not a must, but I absolutely love the peace of mind that it gives me that I can actually track my backpack if for some reason it's lost or stolen. So here I have access to the main camera, which is Sony a7S III, which is right here up top, getting that top down shot. Now, it's usually with a lens, and it's either 24-70 or it is a Tamron. The wide lens is going to be the 17-28, which is right now shooting down. And I know that this backpack has access pockets on the side, has like a little zipper, so you just unzip it and you can access to another camera here. I rarely use it, so I tuck in all my zippers just kind of like to the side, and usually even like crisscross them like so, just so it'd be harder for theft or pickpocketer to open it up and steal something. But my main access is going to be from the top. And over here I have my Insta360 RS. I just recently upgraded to it. I still have the old one, and the reason why I upgraded to the new one, because I do have quite a bit of attachments, because all these cubes are modular and you can attach it, detach it. You can do different configurations like the 360 camera, or what I have over here is like a 1-inch sensor, I do believe. This is just for capturing behind the scenes, or maybe some of the interesting shots that I can get that I would be not freaking out to put on, like maybe under the car when it goes over it. So this is an awesome action camera. I tried GoPros, I tried other cameras. So far, this is one of my favorite ones. It lasts forever, especially if you attach a USB Type-C Thunderbolt connection power bank to this. It can run and shoot forever, which is amazing. The only thing that I have a grief about this camera is that this lens cover piece gets fogged out sometimes, and that's another topic for another video. But that actually goes on that little vintage tripod that I purchased for $2. Here I have my Rode lavs, and I have 4 of them. They were great. Some people are complaining about them. I don't know why. but I have two black ones, two white ones, and when I simply run and gun style shooting and I'm like, okay, I need to get some interview done, I just pick up one of these bags. I look at the little dot I have on, some of them have this, golden dot of road. I just covered that dot with the Sharpie and I know that this one is black and this one is white. So when I grab them, I'll glance at it. Okay, that's it. I'm going in and just lav them up. These live here. There's times that I'll put something also with them because there's quite a bit of cushion there. I put like, the Insta360 or some other cameras or accessories that I don't want them to be, scratched or banged up or whatnot. Here's another cool pockets of the waist belt. And here I usually carry with these kind of like cords, I have the Peak Design straps. I love them. I truly do. I have one like this. The other one is smaller if I need to put in different places, but it's useful. It works great. I have all these like little rings that are dangling on almost all of my cameras. On this side, I usually keep my lens wipes, sanitized wipes, some extra business card if I need to again. Maybe sometimes I will get some little notes, little trinkets that I need to have access to on the go. I usually just put them in here on the side and it works great. Let's go ahead and unzip it and just check out what's inside. Now, keep in mind, when I open this up, as you can see, some of the things are missing. Show you the video. This is what it looks like shot on a completely different camera. The top down with the Sony a7S III on the top compartment. Sony a7 IV, which I'm shooting right now, actually goes in here with the battery grip. Those two cameras are a fantastic duo. They work together. I have no words how good they work together, and I have completely different video for that. One is amazing for photo, one is fantastic for video. They're both working great for any kind of interviews, two camera interviews. I love this setup, and I would suggest a lot of people would, spend their hard-earned money on these two bodies because they are great. And this slide, I always put different caps. When I'm done setting up one camera, second camera, third camera, which is here as well, I simply take off the caps. I just toss in here and know they're always here. Here I have 85 millimeter 1.8 prime lens, very, very sharp, great autofocus. And if I need to take portraits, I use this because it has amazing, they call it bokeh. It goes majority of the time here. The main compartment, one of the heavier lenses that I have is the 24-70 Sigma. It's the best lens that money can buy. Only grief that I have with these lenses is the caps. Like, I don't know what Sigma is thinking. Lens caps suck, like really badly. And another thing that bothered me for a while is insulation of this lens. A lot of professionals saying it doesn't affect the footage as much. I don't know if you can tell or see, but there's particles in that lens. That just bugs me. I don't know why, but that bugs me a lot. I know that the Sony 24-70, which is like twice as much as this lens, doesn't have that. Either way, the image, the quality, the price, this is the lens to get, especially if you're just starting out. You want that perfect focal range with a zoom lens and 2.8 aperture. This is where to go. So moving on, in these little pockets over here, I have the color checker passport, and this is a fantastic tool to get your focus right, get your white balance right. It has color checker for video part. This is going to be helping a lot of videographers and creatives to make sure we do the proper color correction in post. With this color checker for video, it's a breeze. It's super easy. All you have to do is just flash it before you start shooting right in front of the camera, obviously, and the other camera if you do have to set them up both. And in the post, you can actually just color correct it and do the proper color grading. Next up is the main SD card holder, obviously, because I'm using some of those SD cards. 4 of them are missing from this case. This is what it looks like when they all full. I use quite a bit of Lexar professional cards. SD cards are very, very important when you're trying to shoot high bit rate. You do want to have a fast SD cards. So mainly I was using pro grade SD cards. Then when I watched the Tight Shirt Terry video and he was talking about the Lexar professional SD cards, I bought tons of them. They're less expensive than the pro grade, and they work with the slow motion even though they are V60, as the pro grade is V90. So V90 is obviously better than V60 for the speed of writing onto the card. Thank you, Terry, for your helpful videos. Check him out. Very awesome creative guy. We have here in this area one of my favorite mics. So if I shoot videos and I need a shotgun mic, this is the one I take all the time. I slap it on the camera if I need to do the vlogging style videos. I can put it on the boom pole and actually have my talent use it as actually shotgun microphone that you don't have to have some kind of batteries put in, and it sounds great. Even if I need to get some voiceover done, I can just open up my laptop, plug this in, and do some voiceover, which comes in handy. That little tripod from Vintage Store for $2. That works great, and I love this mic. The next over here is a pouch of my magical microphones. Again, Rode. I'm sounding like a Rode fanboy or so. This microphone is amazing just simply because I can plug in this little receiver onto the camera or whatever camera I want to record the audio. And I have two other cubes. These guys can go on two different talents, and one left channel, one right channel. They all come together in one receiver. These record internally up to 7 hours, I do believe. If I need to, let's say, put this mic on, all I do is just turn it on. Let's say I forgot to plug in receiver to the camera. If this is on, and I have a little like magnet over here, which is super cool. Let's say I'm recording it, it internally records the audio onto this little piece. And if I get a heart attack when I find out that I didn't plug in the receiver, I know for a fact that there are files that are stored on this little device that I can retrieve later on when I plug it into the laptop. Fantastic tool. It saved my butt quite a bit. I love it. I purchased a little magnet clips if I need to connect them to a talent that has not an obvious color to plug in or connect the mic. If I don't want to connect the lav mics to this device, it has already a mic in here, which is absolutely genius idea. I know there's tons of companies now coming out with these kind of like devices, and I will be reviewing some of them actually. I know this is one of the first microphones that I got. I don't regret it. It never failed me. Also, it has a little dead cats, which are again improved. You twist it, and that's it, and stays. Previously, I remember it was like back in the day, they were just like snap-ons and they just like fall off. Next, something that I think every videographer, photographer, creative that works with the equipment should have: a rocket blower. That thing, I cannot tell you how many times don't have time to clean the lens or do some, professional cleaning. I just whip the camera lens upside down, blow with this little thing, cleans out everything. I slap on the lens and off I go to shoot. That is a must in your kit. Another thing is when you're shooting interview and you need to monitor your audio, you have to have headphones. If for some reason I forgot my headphones at home, I have this little old school Apple headphones that work great to monitor the sound. So, and I always shove them over here. They saved my butt a couple times when I forgot the headphones. Here I have a pouch with batteries. This is from IKEA. They don't make them anymore, but I bought quite a bit of them. In the future, I'll give away these pouches for sure. And they fit a lot of power banks, batteries, whatever you want. Very stylish, very cool. Choice of batteries: Sony Z100 batteries. There are a couple of the batteries that I purchased, like aftermarket ones, like newer. They're not as good as the original Sony batteries, but they're a fraction of the price. And I bought just two aftermarket ones just in case. I always suggest, guys, purchase the Sony batteries from Sony because there are the long-lasting ones. You will not have any issues with them, and if you do, Sony will take care of it. Don't you, Sony? Here I have my third camera, well, actually, it's a fourth camera. So my fourth camera is Sony A7C, and supposedly the smallest full frame camera. I decided to go with this vintage film camera look with the silver top. I put on the cage of smaller rig cage on most of my product just simply because I can attach so many different things, and there are times that camera falls down and you don't want to have your camera chipped anywhere, because if you try to resell it and get the most money out of it in the future, it's nice and neat and clean. And what's great about this smaller rig cage, it actually fits. I have a big hands and it creates this little extended grip on the side, because A7C grip is absolutely small and just doesn't fit big hands. And I mainly use it as a C camera because my duo is A7S3 and A7 IV. And here, I know it's like a little bit dirty, but hey, what can you do? You use it. Laptop, obviously a little logo. Laptop goes here, zips up. A lot of times if I don't use the laptop and I need to some kind of like paperwork, you can slide it in, or maybe even serve it as like for the pouch, like battery pouch that are like flat, you can put in here if you don't have spot in here. So another compartments, Allen wrench. You have like different cables for Apple devices, obviously, because Apple just not all of them are switching to Thunderbolt C. Some of those converters are here. Some of the cables that I need, some of the like a quarter. So you have a quarter if you need to tighten something up, if you don't have Phillips screwdriver or whatnot, or maybe somebody is like, hey, let's make a bet, let's toss heads, tails. You have the quarter. These are all the things and essentials that I need to make sure everything goes smooth on the shoot day. I think there's going to be a time, maybe this year or maybe next year, that I'm going to upgrade my backpack to something newer. But for right now, for 5 years of serving, this backpack was and is amazing. This kind of concludes everything that I've got in my camera bag. Maybe it gives you some kind of idea how to do your setup the way you want it. And if you found this helpful, please go ahead and subscribe, and while you're at it, slap that bell just to get notified for some other videos that I'll be posting. Hopefully that's going to be helpful for you as well. Like it or hate it, subscribe it or not, but always remember to stay awesome, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.